Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Top 5 News. Let me share this little video with you might like.
News bubble. Everyone's trapped in their own news bubble.
You're watching the Top 5 News.
Good evening, everyone. Joe Pelayo here with the Top 5 News. We do, if you're new here, welcome in. Everyone watching now around the world, it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast and in America. It's Friday night. We're excited that you're here. Welcome everyone that's here live and in person. Glad to see you. And to all the people who tune in after the fact and watch the show, we're grateful for you also. It's been to the tune of about 2.4 million viewers. Unbelievable. That's all the shows cumulatively and all posts and everything. That's just on one of the online systems, and we broadcast many. Anyway, I'm Joe Pelayo. I've got 5 stories for you in the next 5 minutes, and just excited to be with you. It's a great day. I'm excited to retire a couple of news stories tonight, which I'll tell you about. I don't know if I'm going to get done in 5 minutes. I got to warn you, but I'm going to try and do it as close as I can. Got 5 really interesting stories and a blessing word. It's going to be a word of good news for you at the very end. So let's get going. Today we have Shutdown ends, Epstein explodes, Dow dives, hero firefighter, and a robot debut, which you just saw. Story 1 today, the U.S. I'm so glad we're retiring this story. Got tired of talking about it. 43 days. Anyway, today we're retiring the government shutdown story. So government's open. We're back to business. Everybody's grateful for that. And I'm grateful to not have to talk about it, maybe for hopefully a long time, at least to January. We're funded. Trump signed a bipartisan bill by over the night, and workers are back to work with the back pay. Story 2 tonight, House Dems released 23,000 Epstein pages. And I talked about this a tiny bit yesterday. I just told you not to buy it, basically, and I didn't really explain it. So I'm going to attempt tonight to give you a little bit more, meat on the bone and walk you through why I'm saying that to you. And I know there are multiple different types of people who watch this show, and some people are Trump fans, Trump fanatics, and also people who aren't very pro-Trump, and some who are anti-Trump. And I want you to know for sure if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or whatever you call yourself, independent, if you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump, you're okay with me, okay? And also, I'm not trying to win over, there's the people who are the orange man bad and they get red in the face when you bring up his name. I'm not trying to win over those people. That's a different, scenario. But if you're a thinking person and you're watching this, I want to walk you through some of the things surrounding this Epstein page's claim that Trump spent hours of time with victims on the island, and that they're poised to really get him this time. And I just told you yesterday they're not going to really get him this time. But today I'm going to actually walk you through why I believe that and why I say that. And I try to not tell you what to think. I'm going to walk you through all these ideas, all these research that we've done, and so you can kind of make your own decision. Again, there are people that when you bring up the name of the orange man, they go orange man bad, they get red in the face, and you could tell them, hey, during his first term, he was the first president not to get us in another war. I still hate him, So I think that segment of the audience probably has seen their way out. But if you're a thinking person, and even if you hate Trump, I'd ask you to listen. And I might not be right, but I'm going to put some facts on the table and try and build some things for you to think about. That's all. Okay, so in the release of the documents, the story goes that the Democrats had 23,000, they released 23,000 pages, and that there was a woman in the pages that Trump had been with many moons ago. And even when I was trying to think of her name. Who's the gal that Jasmine Crockett. So Jasmine Crockett went on CNN, okay? And CNN is so out to get Donald Trump, you can't even believe it. I mean, you just can't even believe how many times. The night that he was almost assassinated, they literally said there were fireworks and he may have fallen down. And the story just goes on, and they've reported every bad thing that they could report about the president. That being said, she went on there and she talked about this, and the CNN anchor, you can look it up and watch it, and I'd encourage you to do that. I don't usually encourage people to watch CNN, but in this case I would. And watch that interview, watch where they actually correct Representative Senator Jasmine Crockett on this situation. And let me walk you through some of the other backgrounders. So yeah, I'm just going to read these to you. I think I was going to put them on the screen, but I am doing kind of my robot impression here. Hold on one second, though. Okay, so the items that they attacked Trump with previously were as follows, and we'll walk through a few of them. And these are very articulately walked through on the webpage American Debunk. Okay, so it's americandebunk.com. The first one was the bloodbath hoax. That's where Trump said that there would be a bloodbath if he were elected. And they went back and looked at the claims on that. And it turns out he was talking about the automotive industry, that if there was something that happened in the automotive industry, there would be a bloodbath. So there was a disclaimer on that, and it was fully disclaimed both by the right and the left that happened. The number two claim about Trump was that that he called a disabled person made a gesture towards a disabled person in a wheelchair, and a lot of the media blew it up and said it was a big deal. Well, they went back and looked at the gestures that he did, and he used that same gesture to refer to other reporters who were not disabled since about 2005. So it was 10 years of history where they showed him doing the same, expression where he supposedly was mocking the person. So they debunked that. Then there was the Fine People hoax. This was happened in Charlottesville in 2017, where Snopes, which is a very left-leaning online, property, they debunked this, said that Trump was saying that the neo-Nazis were very fine people. Well, there was a spliced video, kind of like there was for the BBC, which just came out yesterday, or this week, that they doctored the January 6th video, a Trump speech, and you catch all that on the BBC. They admitted it publicly, and they fired 2 senior people there. But so, and by the way, with the January 6th, what you would need to believe on that would be that the Republicans have a lot of guns, but they didn't bring them to the insurrection. Okay, so that kind of debunks itself. But then there's the blue suit hoax. So what that was when Trump went to the Pope's gathering, he wore a blue suit and everybody else was supposed to wear a black suit. Well, the code turned out to be dark suits, and even Joe Biden collapsed that claim, and that was nothing. So another one was that Trump is a rapist. That was the Jean Carroll rape thing, and ABC had to pay Trump for settlement of a claim that they said he raped this woman, then there was no criminal charge on that. So that was another one. Trump also was accused of calling the losers and the suckers hoax. And so what that one was the Atlantic, not a recommended property by me, but they are a news agency. And they said that he called some of his generals losers and suckers. And just think about that the president why would the president call his generals losers and suckers? It just didn't add up. And it was an anonymous source, another, notorious fake news situation. The next one was that you'll never have to vote again hoax. So Trump supposedly said you'll never have to vote again. And they said that was him saying he's going to be a dictator and never let you vote again. Well, that's debunked because he ran again. and they let you vote. And Biden won the last time and Trump won this time. The next one is the Russia collusion hoax. And that was something we had to hear about for 3 years straight. And Mueller looked into it. Robert Mueller looked into it. And the findings of Robert Mueller's 3-year investigation, $52 million of your taxpayer dollars, was that Trump did no wrong in the Russia collusion hoax. The next one is the Letitia James hoax, where she basically ran and said, there's videos of her saying that she's going to go try and get Donald Trump. And Alvin Bragg, the same thing, hush money hoax is the last one. Now that I've poured you to tears on it, but I really want to put some of this out and make sure people understand why, when I say to you that I forbid you to believe something, where I'm coming from on that. Because 9 times out of 10, well, just to finish the Alvin Bragg, that was a hush money hoax, and he charged Trump, you remember, with 34 felonies. Let me just pause right there. Trump was accused of 34 felonies. Okay. And again, the orange man bad, red in the face, Trump haters, you're not going to fall for this one. I get it. But for normal thinking people, he was accused of 34 felonies by Alvin Bragg, 34 felonies on top of all these other hoaxes. If he was guilty, wouldn't he be in jail? And now we haven't even talked about, I'm trying to move on. I want to do this once and do it right. These 2 stories I'm retiring next week: Shutdown, Epstein stuff. Okay. But, they raided his house in the middle of the night. They went through his wife's drawers, his kids' property, and everything. And they said, remember, he had the nuclear secrets. Okay. So again, just use your noodle. I'm not going to tell you what to think. If he had nuclear secrets that he had taken home illegally, and the Democrats were so out to get him, would he be our president? Wouldn't he be in jail? Raise your hand if you think you thought he was going to be in jail at some point along the way. And I'll admit that I did. Okay, I admitted that I thought he was going to be in jail, and I didn't think it would be fair, but I thought that was how that might play out, and you might have thought that also. But so then they did this thing in the middle of the night where the FBI came armed. Okay, they raided his house in the middle of the night and accused him of these nuclear secrets or secrets from North Korea. Go back and look at the Google, like North Korea, CNN and stuff like that. It's just general secrets from the generals, and see what they said about it. It's just preposterous. And so this, ladies and gentlemen, when I wind this up now, I'm glad to be moving on here. I told you it'd be more than 5 minutes, so I warned you. But when we look at these 13 hoaxes in comparison and contrast and context, when we look at these 13 hoaxes that have all been debunked, and then we look back at the current accusation, which says that Trump was with a little girl back in 2004, or a young lady, right? A teenage girl or something like this, whatever they're accusing them of this week. When we look at that, I want to really look you in the eye and tell you, and I almost never do this. I'll report the story and I'll say, you decide. You've heard me say that 100 times. But on this, there are people who are saying they're really going to get him this time. And I absolutely forbid you to believe that. I forbid you. You can't watch the show and believe that. I'm sorry. You're out. You can love Trump, you can hate Trump, you can be anti-Trump, protagonist with 1 million viewers and watch me and enjoy some of the show, and you get your tech breakthroughs or whatever, and you don't like my political opinions. There's 1 million things you can do. On this one thing, I forbid you to go away from this show thinking that your sitting president is about to be arrested and that they're really going to get him this time. No, they would have really got him those 13 other times. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with the shutdown story. And if any of you are left, we're moving on to some great stories. All right. Man, the things people believe out there. All right, we're moving on. Story 3 today, the Dow plunges 798 points. We're sell-off in months. Nasdaq down 2.3%. However, it did bounce back. And the worst losers and suckers, so to speak, was Disney, down 7.8%. I guess they have a streaming hold with YouTube or something, and it's affecting it's affecting their income very negatively, and so I guess they'll fix that, but eventually. But so they're down 7.8%. Nike's down 2.8%. Apparently, China's weak. That's not necessarily a good sign. I'm going to talk about the economy in a moment. UnitedHealth down 2.7%. Medicare probe. Home Depot down 2.1%. Housing chill. These are not good newses, but I'll tell you one thing that was good news. I know you tune in for good news a lot, right? Cisco up 4% on a first quarter beat. It said bursting the bubble. It's good news on the economy for Cisco. And I got to tell you, I've been recruiting for 40 years. Yeah, almost. I'm in my 4th decade. When you're a recruiter, somebody has more than 25 years of experience, you tell them always never to put more than 25 years, a career spanning 25 plus years. So anyway, I've been recruiting for 25 plus years. And always, I've been through 7, 8, 10 of these ups and down, recession, higher, boom, bust cycles. Always, ladies and gentlemen, there is either companies hiring, okay, or companies are laying off. And where we're at right now, ask any recruiter friends, see what they think. But where we are at right now in the market, nobody's hiring, nobody's laying off. And there's exceptions to every rule. But what I'm saying is there is a precipice that we're sitting on right now. And I can't tell for the life of me, because people ask me all the time, what's going on in the economy and the job market and this and that. I can't figure out what's about to happen. It could be we're right on the precipice and the Dow is going to crash, lose half its value, and every company's going to be laying off. And hopefully we would get through that more quickly now that we have this fast-moving technology, speeds the pace of everything, right? I can't tell if we're there or if we're about to enter into what the president calls the golden age. I don't know where we are, but time will tell. But that's what's going on in the economy, and we'll keep a close eye on it for you. And we'll keep an eye on the unemployment, the layoffs, the earnings and the companies that are breaking through with good money and good earnings. Story for today: firefighter Nick Palmer saves a drowning girl. The community hailed him as a superhero, as did the victim. Quick action revives a child's life, saves her with his CPR. Take a CPR class. Heroes like this inspire us in these times. Story 5, you saw the video on the front end. Russia's AI humanoid ADOL robot in Moscow fell on his face, and some of the fake news media, I guess they were paid. There was one that said it was a learning moment for the robot, and another one said that he stumbled. You saw the video. Did it look like he stumbled? He fell on his face, just like all of us do sometimes. You know, we all fall on our face sometimes. It happens. But so the robot came on stage and he fell on his face, and all the internet memes were going crazy, posting this video, and people making their comments about robot clumsy and whatnot. But he did apparently, and you can imagine Elon Musk was laughing his anatomy off because he's got, of course, the competitive Optimus robots. But he did show apparently a few things: one, emotion, and two, silicon skin breakthrough. He also had 19 motors, and he had a 6-hour battery, which is good for a big robot like that. You know, you get 6 hours out of your phone, but a robot usually not. Anyway, after this minor stage stumble, that was what it was. One of the mainstream media fake news organizations said the robot had a minor stage stumble. That's just like the mainstream media. My goodness, that's funny. Anyway, after he fell on his face, the robot human interaction, well, it does push forward. And now for an encouraging word. Let us not grow weary in doing right, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. That's 5 stories. I usually say in 5 minutes, but that's 5 stories in 23 minutes and 3 seconds. Next week, we'll be back to normal programming, about 5 stories in 5 minutes. I won't be doing a extended run-on about different hoaxes. You can go back and watch that if you want it. You can go to American Debunked and see it. And we won't have to talk about the shutdown, and it'll just be more good news you can use back to the regular good stuff that we talk about. If you got a good show idea and or a hero or something that's going on in your community, we're interested in hearing about it. You can reach me at joe@josephmichaels.com. And I read all the emails personally. I don't respond to all of them or too many of them. And by the way, if you sent me a message online in the last 3 months when we were kind of getting this show kicked off and I ignored you, try again. We're getting back to normal processing here. But if you have a story idea, hit me. I'm interested in a few things. Categories of stories would be news you can use, technology breakthroughs that might be helpful to you, right? Hero stories. And also, we're going to do a very strong focus on patriotic stories. Just for one example was the giant flag that we did that weighed several tons and took dozens of guys to put together, dozens of people. Another one was the Lego guy. There's a Lego kid apparently. Did you play with Legos when you were a kid? You probably did. A Lego kit that you can build an American flag now. Yeah, I think that I've really seen a vision of an American flag at every single home, every business, and every park, and every freeway exchange. And I think it's about to happen. Next year is the 1776 250-year anniversary, and it's going to be patriotic off the hook. It's going to be amazing. So what I was leading up to, I don't know why I'm taking so long today. It's supposed to be a 5-minute show. Last thing is, if you see something worth reporting, let me know. And I have a special interest in the patriotic stories. Guy, did a credible flag. One you find in your neighborhood, maybe you're flying it yourself. Send a note, and maybe we'll talk about it on the show. Thank you for watching the Top 5 News. We give you 5 stories in usually about 5 minutes. And we'll see you here next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for coming, and have a great day. Have a great weekend.